European football is broken. The clubs that built the game are being left behind, while billion-pound leagues dominate everything. And no club represents that decline better than Celtic. Once European champions, now expected just to survive the group stages. So what actually happened? Did Celtic fall behind? Or did modern football leave them behind? European football used to be about greatness. It used to be about history, atmosphere, identity, and football clubs representing their communities. And few clubs represented that better than Celtic Football Club. This is a club that didn't buy European success. It earned it. In 1967, Celtic became the first British team to win the European Cup with a squad built almost entirely from local players born within miles of the stadium. The Lisbon Lions didn't cost hundreds of millions. They were developed, trusted, and believed in. Clubs like Celtic helped build European football into what it is today. But fast forward to modern football, and the game barely resembles what those clubs helped create, because modern European football is no longer built on sporting competition. It is built on money. Television deals, billionaire ownership, state-backed clubs, and commercial expansion have completely reshaped the sport. The English Premier League alone generates billions in broadcast revenue every single season. Even teams fighting relegation in England now earn more television money than Celtic could realistically generate in total annual revenue. Think about that. A team finishing 17th in England can outspend champions from historic European clubs, and that financial imbalance shows every year in European competition. Celtic are no longer losing purely because of tactics or effort. They are competing against squads assembled with financial power that simply didn't exist 20 years ago. Football has created an economic system where success increasingly depends on wealth rather than football intelligence. And ironically, the very clubs that built European competition, clubs with history, support and identity, are now being pushed further away from competing at the highest level. Celtic are not alone. Across Europe, traditional giants from smaller leagues are being left behind while money concentrates power into fewer and fewer leagues. The Champions League was once a tournament where champions faced champions. Now it often feels like an extension of the richest domestic leagues. Money hasn't just changed football. Many supporters believe it has damaged the competitive soul of the game. But here's the important part. Financial disadvantage does not automatically mean permanent decline, because some clubs have adapted. Ajax, Benfica, and RB Salzburg understood something early. If you cannot outspend Europe's elite, you must outthink them. They built elite scouting systems. They invested heavily in youth development. They searched markets other clubs ignored. They identified players and managers before the Premier League arrived, with unlimited budgets. They buy potential, they develop excellence, and they sell at the perfect moment. This is the path available to Celtic. Historically, Celtic's greatest success came when the club trusted development over spending. Producing top-level academy players reduces financial risk while creating long-term sustainability. Imagine a system where Celtic consistently identify the best young talent across emerging football nations, signing players at 18 instead of 24, hiring progressive managers before they become global names, developing players into Champions League performers, then reinvesting transfer profits directly back into scouting, analytics, and infrastructure. That is how modern clubs from smaller leagues survive, and more importantly, compete. Because the truth is this, Celtic will probably never match the financial strength of England, Spain, or Germany, but European success has never only belonged to the richest clubs. It belongs to the smartest ones. Football today may be dominated by money, but intelligence, recruitment, and long-term planning still create opportunity. The tragedy is not that Celtic lack resources. The tragedy is that football's financial system increasingly rewards wealth over heritage. The clubs that helped build European football are now fighting just to remain competitive within it. But history shows something important. Celtic thrive when they innovate, when they lead rather than follow, when they discover talent before the rest of Europe notices. The road back in Europe will not come from chasing richer leagues, it will come from building a smarter football model. Because money may have reshaped modern football, but smart clubs can still disrupt it, and if Celtic get recruitment, youth development and long-term strategy right, European nights at Celtic Park could once again mean something feared across the continent.